I'm a little concerned because it seems like I'm not allowed to present evidence, yes, of my innocence, and I'm not allowed to suppress evidence that was illegally searched and seized. There's a lawsuit in that. Mhm. Now, not having the right to see the evidence because you say I'm crazy. I asked you to admit the evidence that I wasn't in Brendan or in Squim, and you, as law enforcement right now, you refuse to acknowledge my rights as an American citizen. I give you the evidence that my sons are in the wrong grades. Right. They're going to graduate at 19 and a half years old, and you refuse to enforce my custody rights. Now, what possible reason would law enforcement have for obstructing my right to see the evidence so that I could say, well, I didn't send that. I can prove it. Oh, you don't want to get sued. I think there's a big lawsuit in any police department issuing a traffic citation where you have the evidence that I wasn't there. And you make me spend 2.5 years homeless because you don't want to admit it. I think there's a really big lawsuit in that. And then you say I'm incompetent to stand trial. Yes, when I have the evidence that I was here that whole day. See, I presented to you one screen print of an email that I sent at 4:48 p.m. But I was here from 10 to 5 p.m. that whole day. Yes. Now, at that time, I probably went over to the Hagens, or it might have been the Albertsons. I can't remember. Hagens owned the Albertson stores before SARS bought the Hagen store. Yes. And just looking at it, I was probably on the video surveillance camera footage at the Hagens. But you refuse to acknowledge my rights. Well, why is that, Sheriff? Sheriff, why are you refusing to acknowledge my rights as an American citizen? I asked you to remove the dissolution of marriage. Yes. You refused, didn't you? I asked you to remove the fraudulent protection order and you refused. Yes. See, I was on bus actually 22. Yes. I was at the Hagens from 9 to 9:40 and from 10 to 5. I was at the Port Angeles Library and I have the emails to prove it. Now, at 5 p.m. I left this library. Yes, you did. And I can